28mm and 42mm. Both these lenses have been my everyday lenses, like my everyday go-to lens, I should say, for a period of time. And I've spoken about it before. The Olympus 35 UC was my first manual film camera, and then I moved on to the F3, which is, I have a 28 on it. They both offer very, very different looks and feel to images that you're going to capture. And this is one of the reasons why I moved away from the Olympus, which in the previous video I talk about a bit more, or the video about the Olympus I talk about more, sorry. But in saying that, I still feel a pull to go back and use that camera due to that lens. And some of those photos that I've taken with that still remain my favorite, some of my favorite photos I've taken. But there's something about it that I can't just pick it up and get the shot I want straight away. There seems to be a barrier there, and maybe that's what makes it more magic, makes it appear to be more magic for me, that lens as well, is when I do get those photos out of that camera and that lens, I'm more taken back because it feels like I work way harder to get those images. Whereas the 28, I feel I'm so comfortable using that lens. Like every frame I see I feel like in a 28mm. Like if I don't have my camera here and I'm framing something, I feel like I'm visualizing that frame for a 28mm lens. It's just much more instinctual for me. But then there's a bit of a divide in my mind. I feel compelled to lean into the 28 because it is more natural and I get that look that I want. And maybe it is also just because it is a bit of a photojournalist standard, I guess, that focal length in terms of documenting, like a documentary style photography. Whereas 42s it's a little bit tight to get the entire scene, and I love the dynamic feel that a 28 gives. It makes you feel immersed in the photo. It feels like you're there. Whereas using the 42, I feel like I don't feel like I'm inside the photo. I feel like it's a photo, and it's something that's caught, and it looks stunning a lot of the time. But I don't feel immersed in the photo. It's just a different feeling, and I feel like sorry, my phone's going off. I feel like it is. It's hard to explain. I just feel like I'm not in the photo. I feel like it's a focused frame for isolating a subject, and not like a really tight lens like a portrait lens like an 85 or a 105. It still feels like you're trying to capture the subject and the environment, but it just feels much more singular, the focus. And I feel the pull I feel is I know what I'm going to get with the 28, and I'm going to be satisfied with that. But then I have this other side where I'm capture these images with a 42mm. It's just like, wow, these look amazing. But I can't get those images all the time, and I don't feel like it doesn't feel like a barrier of skill or just awareness with the lens. I feel like I know how to use the lens. I just feel like there's much less situations for me where I can utilize a 40mm. So my point is somewhere in, where do you go from here? Do I lean into the 42 and put aside the 28 for a while, especially now that my 28's broken? My hand's been forced. I'm going to be using the 42 until I get a new lens. But do I invest that as a new focal length, or do I just pick it up from time to time? I personally don't like the idea of picking up from time to time, because you end up just, again, dabbling between it. You don't develop your secondary, it doesn't feel like second nature. Just I don't feel one with the lens. I feel like I've got an idea of how different lenses operate, and then I'm selecting which one I'm going to use for a certain scene, rather than making the scene work with the lens I have and I'm experienced with. So that's just a bit of psychology that I go through while I'm just walking around, while I'm driving, while I'm shooting. I try to stick to one lens, but then sometimes I think, oh, would I capture these really, really special moments? Are they more important than capturing more really good moments? I don't know. And I don't know anyone's got the answer for that. But that's where my mind lies.